All right, welcome back. Um, we are in the first turn of tactical nuclear war right now, NATO 61, the previous recording. We saw the initial, I would call it, Warsaw Pact surprise attack to include tactical nuclear weapons, which we can see they made prolific use of, and basically the U.S. only was able to respond in a few places, especially down here. There are two Czechoslovakian armored divisions driving on Munich, and they messed up the attack on this unit. Well, there was an 8-7 here, and they were able to take a shot at them before they went by on their way to Munich. So, where are we at? Just coming over here. I like this dual screen setup of the game and rules and charts. If anybody does watch this and then has a comment on that, if you think it's better to go full screen, let me know. But I think that's better than constantly changing what window is being displayed. So with that in mind, we did finish the Warsaw Pact through the combat phase. We're in the end phase, and we can read here and see any nuclear explosions are converted to radiation, which means now units can move through it. Nobody can move through these normally. So I think all I need to do is start flipping these. I'll use the Alt F. And you're only supposed to leave them on urban hexes and Nike hexes, but I'm just going to leave them. There we go. This unit just got stuck there last time, so I'll put it on top. I may take them away later. So we're flipping them all per the rules. Not good here. Flip. This one's harder. Let's see, F, F, F. Oh, and down here, F. Check armor. That's where it used to be. Oh, and we went after the headquarters here. Drove them back. I think we drove both of these back, and I did make a mistake last time. The Soviets sent 2 air points each to do this, but that's because it was in the Nike zone. So they needed 2 air points to get 1 die roll. Normally, if you've got 2 air points doing each one gets a salvo. If it's outside of the anti-aircraft range, you roll 2 dice, and the highest dice is how far back it's displaced. But in these cases, I had to use 2 air points because it was within the Nike air defense, and I would have only gotten 1 roll. I know for both of them, I rolled a 2 and a 1 and a 3 and a 1. So the way I'm going to correct it is I'm just going to move them up 1 hex closer. And that'll be important because then they can move 1, 2, 3, 4 and get within 5 hexes of some Soviet units potentially. So the question is which one? I guess we'll just move this one up here and this one up here. Okay, so that corrects my error from the last turn. We just kind of fudged it and said the 2 and the 3 were valid. But now these guys get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can get these guys if they want to. And then the other guy, I think we did him okay. It was the there it is. The only sides that can fire on the NATO side are U.S. and U.K. So yeah, what I did want to do now, and we'll see if we get through it relatively fast or not, is I wanted to go ahead and calculate the casualties from last turn. I mean, from last phase. And these are the ones that cause refugees. Well, we're beyond that. That's talking about Berlin and the wall and the airlift. That's all behind us now. Riots, well, that's behind us too. So loss of a dense urban hex to the enemy, loss of a division or 2 brigades, loss of an urban hex or dense urban hex to nuclear radiation. And look, we haven't done strategic nuclear warfare. So I'm going to look at the destroyed units first and see if we can't calculate. Oh, let's see if we can't calculate that. So let's see. These are the West Germans, and they've lost 2 divisions. So they have 2 casualties, 2 more. So coming over here, 1, 2. Okay, so they're still okay. When do the West Germans... Oh, here we go. You got to get to 19 to make them blink an eye. So I've done the West Germans. Then we do the UK. They've lost pretty much the British Army of the Rhine effectively here. So they've lost 3 divisions. So we find the UK and we put them there. And Netherlands, Czechoslovakia. Why won't you come back down? There we go. UK, yeah, got to get them to 18. So not too close yet. Let's see how many of these have. 4, and then 2 brigades counts as 1. So right now the U.S. is at 4 per casualties. And I'm pretty sure they're way down here. U.S., yeah, you got to get all the way to 61 to even start causing demoralization. And let's see, the Soviets have 1. Yep, there we go. They're going to go here. And East Germans is just a brigade, it doesn't count, but the Czechs have 1. Now the Czechs are brittle. They're the first ones that could go. Yep, there they are on 5. Yeah. Oh, Belgium. Well, yeah. Okay, so no units from these, but there's going to be some attacks this turn. Now the next thing it says is got to lose a dense urban hex to the enemy or an urban or dense urban to radiation. So with that being done, oh, we left one. Flip. May get rid of the extras. I don't think any of them are on an urban. No, I didn't do it there. Oh, Hanover. Yep, that's a big one. Bremen was captured. So here we've got an urban captured, that's 1. And then a dense urban is radiation, that's 5. So that's 6 for West Germany. Ouch. Takes them all the way to 10. And we got to get to 19. Well, that could be a strategy there. So we got those. I hate to do it this way, but this is the fastest. Well, there's an urban to radiation over here. That's this one. So that's another one for West Germany. Yeah, doesn't look like anything else that was captured. I don't think they captured. Oh wait, there's an urban. Well, yeah, it's got to be dense urban. So, okay. Let's go the rest of the way here and see what we got. We are good through there, so ouch, that's a hit. Oh my goodness, that's Frankfurt. That's another 5. 16. The Germans are on their way to being demoralized. There's another one in Stuttgart. Dense urban. Ouch. 21. And that puts them over. Let's keep going down though. I don't think any of those. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's right. So basically, Stuttgart, I think they got 3 of these places. Yeah, they're right here where the headquarters were. Stuttgart, Frankfurt, and up here Hanover. Urban hexes, that's 15 points right there, not including losses or anything else. So the West Germans right now are demoralized, and they're not broken until here. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's see what these things do. I think they're down here. Find the rules for that. Scope. Interdiction. Well, I missed it. See, this is where you should have this stuff memorized. Yeah, it's not an escalation. There we go. Okay, when you hit desertions, a unit of the affected nation suffers 1 step loss per turn. So you just pick one unit of their side and it loses a step every turn, and they're past desertion. So that's it. Then break down, roll a die at the beginning of every turn. Step loss. And then collapse, everybody loses a step loss. And the country's collapsed and the victory points go to the nation's population. So West Germany, because of these nukes flying, seems to be the one in most trouble. 37 and collapse at 56. So keep that in mind. Alright, so I've added those things, and I think, when does that happen? On the turn they reach or pass a threshold, the following effects are applied to the affected nation. Suffers 1 step loss per turn, applied during the reinforcement phase. Okay, well, it's the NATO turn, it's the reinforcement phase. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so we finished the end phase. Nobody's asking for ceasefire, no automatic victory. So I think we're done with the end phase. So now we go to the NATO player turn. And let's see what we got here. So we're going to flip this. It's the NATO player turn. Looks like there are some reinforcements here. I don't think the airborne units are placed yet. Let's see what you are. No. So 82nd Airborne is going to show up, and the French get a division and a brigade, which they can rail to a German dense urban hex as long as there is a line of communication. They could go all the way here, but I don't know if we want to. So with that done, the next thing we do, just looking at the turn track now, we're going to do the air phase. Going to roll for the number of air points that NATO gets. Roll big. There's no other Warsaw Pact use all of theirs. Oh gosh. All right, you all saw it. It was a 1. It's a 1. Wow. All right, well, we'll go get that air point. It's just not a good day for NATO. Let's go find it. Okay. This is why I should have put the markers out already. Let's see if they're here. Yeah, these are the units. And these are TNW. It's not here, so they got to be here. Oh, there it is. So NATO gets 1 air point. Gonna put it here in the air holding. And I'm gonna clone this. So that's the air point, and I'm gonna rotate this to clone it next time. 1 air point. Surprise is complete, apparently. Then we have the reinforcement phase. Collects any reinforcements. The NATO player has 1 die for intensive attack and assigns them. Okay, we get the US gets the 82nd Airborne. Don't know really where to find those. Maybe they're independent. Yep. There it is, 82nd. And the 82nd can be placed, it can be left in strategic reserve and airdropped later, or it can be placed on the board like a normal reinforcement, which means any port or airbase. There's an airbase. So it could show up right here. But those are the choices. Or it can show up in a port. Just to know the rules. So like it could show up here. But Netherlands are going to move forward and help with that. Wow. Okay. There's like nobody up here but the Netherlands units. But if I put them here, there's nobody here either. Well, let's just say actually the British are gone. The Germans are trapped. And they can free range now. This guy could go to town and run over all the Nike places. These can move up, but they won't last long in a nuclear war. Almost think I need to put them up here. Perhaps right here. Let's be realistic. Let's say it shows up here. Okay. And the French get 2 units. M plus 1 and 2. There we go. 15th Mech Brigade and 15th Mech Division. And they can rail to any dense urban hex. Let's see if they talk about it here. There's air power. We did that. Nice. That this is in the order it happens. French reinforcements arrive by rail. Any dense urban hex must have not been captured. Must continue its line of hexes at board edge and not in zone. Alternately, the units may enter on the board edge. So that's not a good choice. Dense urban in. They could go all the way to Munich. Or they could go to here. I think they'll go here. Well, and then the brigade. Yeah, they'll go here. Okay. There's not a lot here. All right, so we placed the reinforcements. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay, game turn track is set. Let's go back up here to the sequence of play. So we've done the reinforcement. NATO player rolls 1 die for the number of intensive attack supply and assigns them to headquarters units. Well, I don't think we'll be attacking very much, but let's go find them. Intensive supply table. General war. NATO, 1 die. That's what they should have rolled for air power. Anyway. Oh, that's not a good roll. Yeah, they should have rolled 1 for the other and 1 for. Only got 1 intensive attack. 1 intensive attack. What headquarters are we going to give it to? Not that they're potentially going to use it. Probably one of the US headquarters. The British, nobody there to command anymore. Belgium, they won't last long. We'll give it here. Alright, so let's see. We've done that on the sequence of play. So, alright, so now we are at the NATO movement phase. So let's see, we've done 19 minutes of this. Well, let's just discuss what NATO's options are, and we'll call it before we implement it. I don't know. There's nothing down here can launch nukes at the moment. I just realized the Russians should probably pull one of their HQs over here so they can help the Czechs with, a salvo of 5 nukes a turn. So in a sense, this is conventional for now. This is not. These guys are going to be a problem. Not quite sure how you defend in the face of tactical nuclear weapons. Do you just run away? These are all trapped. Let's look at this. Those are 3 urban hexes, dense urban. And the advantage is that as long as they aren't nuked, you get good victory points for them. So it's not in, from a victory point of view, it's not in the Soviets' advantage to do that. So, well, I do know the only units on the board, I got 1 air power and 3 headquarters. So basically what they're going to be doing this turn is moving up and taking their best shot. He's got 5 salvos. He could potentially decimate these spearheads, maybe 2, 2, 1, and shut that down. This one's probably safe here. Then decide what to do with these. So that's the first nuclear attack. Then this one will move up, and he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's got. See, but these are 5 5s, but that could definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish he had range for more people, but he doesn't. But let's see what this guy can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, they can pretty much take a chunk out of these guys. And then we'll be trading shots again. So, I think the plan is move the headquarters up, take their shots with the tactical nukes, try and figure out where the air power can go. Since I only got 1, I was tempted to do a nuclear strike somewhere around Berlin, but since I only have 1 air point, and there should be, yeah, here's an anti-aircraft unit. Now maybe I could chip away this, nope, got it covered right there. So there's nothing to hit here, but there could be no, these guys have these covered, can't take any of these. Could push him back. There could be a strike back here worth doing. So we'll see. But what we have just illustrated now, the key thing is the stability track. And we see it's pouring onto West Germany here once the nukes start flying. Most of them are landing in West Germany. And when they hit urban and dense urban, it does, going to have to do a lot more to get a collapse, but that could be a tactic. But if you started doing that, we may end up in strategic war. So next turn, I'll just say, this turn I'll say U.S. is going to do nukes, and then we'll see what the casualties are at the end of the turn. And then in the following turn, we'll see if either side wants to escalate. So I'm going to stop the recording here to make this more bite-sized. And when I come back, we'll do the NATO movement and combat and end phase. We'll finish the turn. So thanks for listening.